the last and final full moon of 2025, the full moon in Gemini peaking on December 4th, 2025 at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's chat about it, okay? Because this is like the final release of 2025 before we get into 2026. This is the moment where everything you held in your mind, in your heart, in your nervous system finally comes to the surface so you can breathe again. This is a mental purge, and this is the last plot twist before the year ends. The moment where you can finally see what you cannot carry into 2026. Your last release of 2025. And hi, I'm Alexi Gigi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel if you're watching me here on YouTube, or welcome back to the Alexi Gigi podcast if you're listening to me here on Spotify. I am so grateful that you are here with me today. I love me a Gemini full moon. It carries such an airy, powerful, crystalline energy, and it's what we all need to prepare for the new year. And there's a lot that we can work with. So I'm here to prepare you and to break down absolutely everything you need to know, how it's going to be affecting you, what you should do and not do. And this episode is separated into 3 chapters today. So chapter 1, we're going to be talking about the astrology, everything you need to know, all the transits happening alongside it. Chapter 2 is what to do and not to do with some rituals and exercises for you. And then chapter 3 is going to be going through each one of the houses briefly so you know exactly what area of your life all this action is happening in. And this is based on the house that the full moon in Gemini is transiting through. Now I'm bringing this little section back, and let me know if you guys would like me to bring back the chapter 3 houses permanently, or if you just do not care for them that much, let me know. So let's get into it. But first, obviously the full moon in Gemini workbook and guided meditation is available for you for instant download. I will have it linked in my description down below, and it's also on alexigigi.com. And the workbook is made custom to your own birth chart, and it has like the end of year review for you based on your own birth chart with shadow work prompts and absolutely everything that you need tailored to you. And the guided meditation is also available for you. But let's get into it. This is the cold moon. This is a super moon. So everything is feeling heightened, okay? Full moons are a time, they're a culmination of a lot of energy. They're big and bright in the sky, so they're illuminating everything, every feeling, every thought, every truth you have been swallowing, every decision you have been postponing. Everything you've been holding inside is ready to break open, essentially. Now, full moons are emotional, but Gemini is an extremely mental sign. So this one feels like your emotions and your mind are hitting at the right moment of clarity at the exact same time. Gemini rules the mind, it rules communication, it rules truth, it rules your perspective, it rules your thinking patterns, it rules the stories that you tell yourself about who you are and what your life means. So when the last full moon of the year lands in Gemini, we're being asked to release the mental clutter that has followed us throughout the entire year of 2025, along with the narratives that limit us, with the beliefs that have been making us small, the version of ourselves we no longer relate to. This is a big release moment before the new year. And we want to be doing the shadow work, and we want to be doing the work, and we want to be focusing especially on the area of your life that the full moon in Gemini is transiting through. And we're doing all of this, and we are preparing so we can walk into 2026 with a clear mind, a clear heart, and a renewed sense of who we are. And listen, this full moon is a true chrysalis moment. This is like literally in between the stage of when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. It is completely formless. There's a lot of mutable energy right now. Gemini is a mutable sign, okay? So there's a lot of mutable energy, meaning that everything is formless right now. Our reality is formless. Everything that we see, that we touch, that we feel, everything is malleable. Everything is adaptable. We can change our reality. We are in this formless state. The caterpillar has dissolved and the butterfly has not yet taken shape. And we have the choice on how we can take shape. We are in that liquid gold state where identity melts before it reforms. And this is the melting stage of this Gemini full moon before we reform into the next level self of 2026. This full moon holds the energy of transition. It is completely formative. It is so special. So Gemini's ruling planet is Mercury. Mercury is communication, perspective, your mind, your thinking patterns. And this full moon is all about curiosity as well as duality. Gemini is the twins, right? It's the twins. And it's also the twins within you. The twins within you who sees both your physical self and your soul self. It's the duality between the inner and the outer. That's why meditation right now is so powerful. And you want to be doing a meditation that incorporates the duality of the twins of Gemini. Your subconscious and your conscious, your inner, your outer, your perspective self, your soul self. And the guided meditation I made for you is specifically for the duality of Gemini, if you guys want to utilize that. This moon is also asking you to express what you have been holding on to. This is also ruled by Mercury, right? And Mercury has been in retrograde for a while now, right? When I'm filming this video, it's still in retrograde. It leaves retrograde on November 29th, but it will still be in a post shadow phase for the next like week or 2 weeks after. So we're going to be in the post Mercury retrograde phase during this full moon, but nonetheless, no more retrograde. So communication is going to be so much easier. So right now you want to speak the unspoken. You want to literally have those hard conversations. And right now is the moment to understand yourself through clarity instead of confusion, to see multiple versions of truths and then choose the one that frees you the most. Gemini is mutable air. It is adaptable. It is shape-shifting. It's the sign of learning, of integration, of flexibility. This is why the chrysalis metaphor is so strong here. You are in the in between. You are dissolving an old identity in order for a new one to blossom. You're not meant to feel fully formed right now. So don't put so much stress on yourself if you're not feeling like, I'm not there yet. Like, I have been doing all this work, I've been doing all the shadow work, and I don't feel like this is my reality right now. It's okay. You are in the formless. And the work that you do during this full moon in Gemini is so important. And the full moon also gives you the clarity that you might need for this transition to happen, for those limiting beliefs to be banished. This is also a big time for changing your perspective. I just realized that I've been staring at the viewfinder this whole video. I'm using a different camera because my other camera's battery was completely dead and I need to film this video fast before I leave for the Cape for Thanksgiving. So I've been staring at this viewfinder because I've never used this camera before. I'm sorry, I will look at you guys. Now, perspective is a huge thing for the Gemini full moon. So this is all about seeing a different viewpoint in your life, about changing how you see things, changing your perspective on your own identity, on your own reality, on the decisions that you make. This is a very, very mental full moon. And this is the type of shadow work you want to be doing. You're basically understanding reality from a total new perspective right now. Another major theme of this full moon is curiosity. Gemini, Mercury, it's all about being curious and expanding your mind and trying new things. So stay curious right now. Ask questions. Challenge things, explore new ideas without having to reach a conclusion immediately. And right now, like, express everything. We're in a moment where we are like done holding everything in. Like, this is the culmination point of holding everything in, of not being able to fully express ourselves or our thoughts or our feelings, especially with the Mercury retrograde. So let everything out right now. Let your thoughts out. Do not be afraid to speak your truth. Now, the major transit that we are talking about today is the Grand Cross, the Grand Mutable Cross that we are having with this full moon, which a Grand Cross signifies that there are squares involved. And I know square sounds scary and people make it out to be a scary transit, but really it's just a lot of energy, right? And it's actually a square to our lunar node. So this full moon in Gemini is squaring both the North Node and the South Node, Virgo and Pisces. Now, the sun and the moon are obviously opposite each other, as they always are during a full moon, and they are both making a square to the South Node and North Node. The sun is in Sagittarius, the moon is in Gemini, and they're both squaring the lunar nodes exactly by a degree. Okay, like it is like almost an exact Mutable Grand Cross. And this is sometimes in astrology called the bending, okay? And this is a karmic hinge point. And the universe is honestly asking you to make a choice. Squares to the nodes almost always represent something that needs to be integrated, that needs to be released, that needs to be spoken, that needs to be learned, something that needs to be confronted. And there's no avoiding this energy. Whenever we have any transit with the lunar nodes, it is a very fated, kind of destined like moment. Like something that isn't only affecting like our current reality right now, but the reality for the next year ahead, especially the next 6 months ahead until the Gemini new moon 6 months from now. This is kind of like you cannot move into your next timeline until you deal with this type of energy, until you face this, until you speak your truth, until you do the shadow work, until you release what needs to be released in 2025. And with this transit, this can even look like it conversation that you've been postponing that could change the course of everything for you. This could be a truth that you've been avoiding coming up, where you finally realize it through shadow work or meditation. This could be a pattern that you have been repeating that you finally realize that you decide to switch. This could be a belief coming up that has kept you small. This could be a narrative that's coming up that limits your future, and now it's the time to release. This is a choice between the old you and the new you. And honestly, this transit is like pushing you off the cliff. It's pushing you off the ledge, but in a good way. It is taking what we have integrated in our past, which is the South Node. It's the past, is 2025, and taking the lessons and also releasing, but taking the lessons too and bringing that into the North Node 2026. The past year has been building towards this exact moment. And this full moon is the clarity that will spring you into 2026. That will push you off the cliff so you can land exactly where you are meant to go. Now, the other transits I want to talk about today are the opposition. So we have two oppositions. We have an opposition between Mars and Venus. Now, the opposition to Venus is pretty wide. So it's like barely an opposition by technological astrology means, but the energy is still there. You may feel torn a little bit between emotional comfort and truth. Emotional comfort and knowing what decision you need to take or what route you need to take in order to align with the frequency of your next level self. So this could look like, especially with the Grand Cross as well, this could look like kind of struggling between maybe like an emotion from the past is coming up that could cause you to react in a way that doesn't align with your highest self, that may align more with your old self, right? And this could look like you choosing between giving in to that emotion or choosing kind of like a more logical path in deciding that you are going to react in a way that your highest self of 2026 is going to react instead of that old version of you from 2025. So emotional comfort or truth, emotional comfort or that next version of yourself that may be uncomfortable for a split second or for just at the time being, but that will give you a way higher reward. This is also between desire and honesty, between longing and reality. Now, the opposition to Mars adds a little bit of heat to the mix. It also adds courage and it adds motivation and it adds that drive to leaving the past in the past. It adds that drive to speak your mind as well. So conversations may feel urgent, feelings may feel sharp. Like I want to remind you guys that the moon is your emotional world, right? It's like it's your emotional world and Gemini is your logical thinking. So it's literally like integrating the two right now. Like this full moon is all about the integration of the two, right? The duality aspect, your heart, your feelings, and your mind, also your outer with your inner. And even though things might feel sharp right now, this is a moment of release, not rapture. And you are being asked to act with this opposition to Mars, okay? But act from truth, not fear. Now, the ruler of the full moon is Mercury, right? And Mercury is currently in the sign of Scorpio and it's making a grand water trine. A trine to Jupiter in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces. Now, this grand water trine has been very prevalent this past few months and continues to be prevalent. So we are continuously feeling that free flowing water, malleable, adaptable energy. But Mercury is not in light right now. It's in Scorpio. It's deep, it's intuitive, it's piercing. Now, Mercury trining Jupiter is expanding that emotional understanding, while Mercury trining Saturn is bringing that maturity and that clarity and that foundational strength we need to move on. It's beautiful energy, honestly. Trines are always going to be beautiful energy. And Mercury in Scorpio is going to give you the courage. It's a powerful energy for closure. It's a powerful energy for honesty and healing. Now, let's get into chapter 2, what to do and not to do. Number 1 is do not avoid conversations that need to happen. Do not avoid the hard conversations. You do want to be having all the conversations, everything that you put off, like talking to someone about, you talk to them, you speak your truth, you speak your minds. This is Gemini, okay? It rules the mind, it rules the thinking, it rules communication. This is the moment to have those hard conversations. Also, if there's something that you've been sitting on maybe all year, if there's a truth you swallowed, now is the time. Also, too, if there's a feeling that you've been pretending not to feel, the Gemini full moon will bring that up. So if your intuition is telling you to speak, speak. This is not the time to become silent because silence could become heaviness. Silence could feel like clutter in your mind. Now, number 2 of what you should do is go out and socialize and have fun. Like, this is your excuse to go out with your friends that weekend. Gemini thrives in social energy. And this is a full moon that wants movement. It's encouraging the movement. It's encouraging the conversations, right? It wants connection. It wants communication. So do not isolate yourself, and do not isolate yourself in your own thoughts as well, which leads us to number 3 of what to do is write down all of your thoughts. I want you to brain dump. Like, I want you to literally take a second, and we're going to talk about doing a year in the review in a second, but I want you to, you want to do this before that. I want you to brain dump absolutely everything that is on your mind about the entire, maybe entire year of 2025. Just brain dump, get everything out onto paper. Get everything out that you no longer want to be, that you no longer want to align with, all the habits you want to release, and then also jot down everything that you want to align with, the version of you want to become in 2026. Just jot everything down. It does not have to be structured. It does not have to be pretty. Just get everything that is in your brain and jot it down on paper. And this also goes for, like, when you were out and about, when you were hanging out with your friends that weekend, or whatever you were doing, like, when something comes to your head, when you get a thought, maybe it's a thought about an idea or a project, maybe it's a thought about an old relationship with someone, write it down. Like, get your phone out and write it down on your notes app immediately. Okay, Mercury rules the mind. A lot of clarity is going to happen in the mind through thought processing, through perspectives as well. So really, really pay attention to what pops up and make sure that you write it down, you jot it down. Gemini supports writing. It supports the journaling. So another thing you do want to do is do shadow work. This is like the main thing that you can do to release what needs to be released for you from 2025 in order to move on to 2026. Now, the workbook has all the shadow work you need, and it's also made for your own specific birth chart based on how this full moon is specifically affecting you in your life. But do not skip out on the shadow work. You can also find like shadow work prompts if you go to Pinterest and you search up shadow work prompts based on, make sure you are finding the specific house in that like specific area of your life, and like search up shadow work prompts for this, and a lot of things will come up. Also, do allow yourself to shift perspectives. As I said, Gemini, it's all about your perspective. So let things happen. Next, important, is do review your entire year of 2025. So do a year review. The workbook has all of this for you to help you out with it. But this full moon is your year in review moment. This is the moment to review the entire year of 2025 and to release what is no longer coming with you into 2026. As I was saying, Gemini rules perspective. It rules that reflection. So this is the time to get out your journal and to do that shadow work and to do the year in review and ask yourself all the important questions. Write out your entire 2025 story. Now, this part of it is going to be a little more structured than the brain dump. So you're going to write down all your accomplishments. You're going to write down your breakthroughs. You're going to write down your failures. You're going to write down your habits. You're going to write down your lessons. You're going to write down everything that you have gone through. All the highs, all the lows. Write who hurt you, what you've learned, what you healed, what changed within you. Perspectives that change, thoughts that like, you're basically going to be doing like a little audit, but for the entire year. And have fun with this. Have fun with this section. You can even like get together with a group of friends and do like a year in review audit. And from this year in review, you are going to take everything that you know that you do not want coming with you into 2026. You want to be clear on what you do not want coming with you. You're going to take that and you are going to release it in a releasing cleansing ritual, which is the next. Do a releasing cleansing ritual. Full moons are all about release. It's a culmination and it's a release. This is the moment to release before 2026. Now, doing a releasing cleansing ritual like made specific for you based on the house is always a good idea. And also a great way with like the audit thing is writing down, obviously in the year review, you see everything, all your habits, all your mistakes, your heartbreaks, your breakthroughs, like you have everything, right? And it's also everything that you can literally now compare to another list of who you want to be in 2026. And I want you to compare it. What doesn't align? What doesn't match up? What doesn't match up that you were doing in 25, that is something that needs to be released. And with all these things that need to be released from this year in review audit, you're going to take that, you're going to write that down on a piece of paper, and you are going to burn it. You're going to burn it, and you're going to take all those things into the meditation. You can burn it, you can shred it, you can tear it. Just do something physically. Let it go physically so you can also let it go energetically. Okay, next is do not forget to meditate. Gemini is duality. It's the bridge between your conscious and your subconscious, your inner world and your outer world, between the physical and the soul. It is the mind and it is intuition. It is the conscious and subconscious. And the best way to link the two is through meditation. Meditation will literally get you into the subconscious part of your brain through alpha, theta, brainwave state activation. And this year, like this full moon in Gemini is so important. It's asking you to link the inner with the outer, to get deep into your subconscious brain and take that into your conscious, which is what meditation does. Meditate helps you connect the two. It helps you connect to the duality of everything. So now more than ever, meditate, especially doing a duality meditation. This is how you prepare for 2026. Everything you want, everything you are starts from within. As within, so without. And you can do your own meditation. You can do whatever meditation you like, but just make sure it focuses on duality. And I did make a meditation for you guys for this reason, the full moon in Gemini duality meditation. And I'm going to be doing this the nights of December 4th, as well as 3 days after. I like to do this for 3 consecutive days, 3 consecutive nights. And you can also always utilize this meditation whenever you want. But the energy of the full moon in Gemini is going to be powerful for the next week ahead. Number 5 is do write a closure letter. So whatever you want to speak, like if you are feeling you need to speak your mind to like an ex or something, and you obviously don't want to reach out to that past ex, write a letter of closure to them. Speak your heart in this letter. You do not have to send it. You can send it if you want, which would be a good time to send a letter like that, but you do not have to send it. Just write everything out, everything that you've been feeling and thinking. This is not about reaching out. This is about letting that energy leave your body. This is about releasing emotional residue from 2025 so you can walk into 2026 feeling a lot lighter. So write the letter, say what you need to say, and then burn it. You can also write a letter to yourself, a letter of closure to yourself. A goodbye letter to the old version of you. You can name the old version of you that was in 2025 and make it seem to be a new persona, something apart from you. Name her, write a letter to her, and say goodbye to her. Hold your funeral for her. Burn it, release it, tear it. And another do is hold a funeral for your old 2025 self. Do a whole funeral ritual exercise. You can do this like literally just like setting the intention that it's a funeral and doing the whole like writing everything that you want to release on the piece of paper, releasing it, burning it, ripping it. That is your funeral. You can dress up for the funeral wearing all black, like get in the mode, get in the vibe. And also, lastly, I know I said the other one was the last one, but lastly, do be curious and do open your mind and do maybe pick up a new book and learn something new. Maybe this could shift your perspective in some sort of way, but Gemini is all about your mind. So read something new, learn something new. Gemini is also like very digital. It's very like social media oriented. So maybe digital, declutter a lot of things, like declutter digitally. But be curious about everything. Ask questions. Someone tells you something, you ask more questions on questions on questions. You never know what could give you that piece to the puzzle of what you are looking for in terms of clarity that will literally like push you on to the timeline of your next level self. So make sure you are curious about everything. You are asking everything. You are challenging and questioning every thought that comes to your brain. Now, let's get into chapter 3. Okay, chapter 3, how this full moon in Gemini specifically affects you based on your own house. Now, I'm going to kind of give you like the quick, powerful, shorter version of what everything means in this video. If you want to go more into depth about how exactly this full moon in Gemini is affecting you, like what area of your life, what you need to do, the exercises, rituals, everything like in detail, in depth, the Full Moon in Gemini workbook is available for you. It's very personalized. I spend like hours on hours on hours, like nights on nights on nights. Like sometimes like I don't even sleep just to get this workbook done, but it is very personalized. I go through each one of the houses, and every full moon and new moon is different. So that is always available for you. But if you are new here and you do not know how to pull up your transit chart, I'm going to briefly go through it because I do have another YouTube video like dedicated just for that, going into detail about how to read a transit chart, also how to pull it up. It's very easy. It takes like 2 minutes once you just know what to do, get the hang of it. It is really, really, really easy. But you're going to go to AstroSeek transit chart calculator. Like you're going to search that up onto Google, AstroSeek transit chart calculator onto Google, and you are going to enter your birthday information, and the time is important because that will give you your houses and it'll give you your transit chart. And basically what you were looking for is the orange moon on the outer circle. What you see on the inner, that is your birth chart, and what you see on the outer, the orange planets and like symbols, those are the planets and transiting points in the sky at that exact moment on the exact day, December 4th, 6:14 p.m. You're going to find the orange moon. You're going to trace it back to your chart, and you're going to see exactly what house it is hitting. That is the area of your life that is of major focus right now. That is the area of your life that you probably have to let go of something in. You definitely have to let go of something in, especially something major in 2025 in order to move on to that 2026 version of yourself. So make sure you are doing this. This is a very, very important step, especially if you really do want to like utilize the energies of the new moons and the full moons. Okay, so first, if the full moon is transiting your first house, this is an identity rebirth. This is the house that starts all the other houses. So this full moon in Gemini could not have come at a better time for you. This is your identity. This is your self. This is your ego. This is your relationship to thyself. This is the house that is all about you. You are a snake right now. You are literally shedding your skin, and that skin is the old version of yourself from 2025. The version of yourself that you played in 2025 is completely dissolving. You are shedding an entire storyline. This is your chrysalis moment. You are here to release old rules, release old behaviors, release old mental patterns. You are here to choose the version of you that you want to become next year. And it all starts with your identity. Okay, now the second house, this is all about your finances, your abundance, and your self-worth. So a belief about your work that held you back this past year will finally break. This is your moment to let go. This is about releasing financial fears, releasing scarcity, releasing that scarcity mindset, moving more towards an abundant mindset for 2026. This is releasing old self-images. You are stepping into a new level of security in 2026. Now, if it's in your third house, this is a big moment for you because Mercury, Gemini, third house, they go hand in hand. So your mind is loud right now. Your thinking is loud and your perspective needs to change. You need to have a different perspective than what you had in 2025. So now is the moment to figure out what the heck that is. Your communication patterns, your daily thoughts, the stories that you tell yourself, everything is being rewritten. You are meant to rewrite your life right now. Have the conversations that needs to be had. This is your moment to speak your truth more than ever. Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it goes far from that emotional safety, do what feels uncomfortable and speak the truth. Now, your fourth house, this is your family. This is your emotional world. This is your divine feminine energy. This is your home, safety, emotional costs. Something from your past year needs closure. This is balancing out your emotional world with your mental world. This could be a family narrative, an old memory, an emotional pattern coming to the surface. You are basically cleansing your entire foundational structure in order to move on to 2026 brighter and lighter. Let what no longer feels safe fall away. Now, the fifth house is your creativity, it's your joy, it's your romance, it's your inner child. It's just letting yourself be free and have fun. It's your self-expression, it's your creativity. Like, what dimmed your light in 2025? Where did you silence your expression? This moment also asks you to release the fear around being seen and step into a more creative identity. Love also is becoming clearer too. Make sure you do the shadow work based on these themes. The sixth house is your body, it's your habits, it's the way that you perceive the world on a day-to-day basis. It's your morning routine, it's your night routine, it's your well-being, it's your routine, it's your fitness. Your daily patterns from 2025 are under a microscope right now. What kept you stressed needs to go. What kept you small, like ungrounded or mentally overloaded, needs to go. You're meant to walk into 2026 with a more aligned lifestyle. Now, seventh house is your relationships, this is your partnerships, this is your contracts, this is love, this is marriage. This is also your enemies. The patterns you repeated in love this year are rising to the surface, and you want to look at those patterns. There's also a really big microscope on how past relationships have affected you now. Not even just having to do with relationships or love or anything like that. The relationships that you have with yourself. That's a big one. And a truth needs to be acknowledged. A dynamic needs to shift. A way of thinking about relationships or love needs to shift. Really, you're releasing the relationship story that no longer matches to who you are becoming. Or it could be a relationship story with yourself. The relationship you have with yourself and how you treat yourself and love yourself and care for yourself like you are in a relationship with yourself. That's how you want to view it. 8th house is intimacy. It's vulnerability. It's the depths. It's shared energy. It's emotional truth. You're releasing a fear that you held. You're releasing a fear that held you back all year. And this is deep subconscious shedding. This is deep shadow work. You're letting old trauma narratives from 2025 and from the past that still haunted you in 2025. You're letting all this fall away in order for you to step into a new emotional state in 2026. 9th house, this is your beliefs, this is your travel, this is your education, this is your expansion. This is the expansive moment for you and your mind. This is the moment that you let go of a belief system that kept you small. You are rewriting your worldview. Something you learned in 2025 now reveals its deeper meaning, okay? This could be also a moment to travel in 2026. And expansion also comes through releasing outdated beliefs. Remember that. So make sure you do the shadow work. Okay, 10th house. This is your purpose, this is your career, this is your public image, it's visibility. Your public life is reaching a moment of clarity right now. Your career is reaching a moment of clarity. There needs to be a lot of releasing tied to those two. What did you work toward all year that doesn't feel aligned anymore? What role or expectation needs to be released? This is your chance to walk into 2026 with a whole brand new sense of direction. 11th house, this is your friends, this is your community, this is your social identity. This is also your manifestations and your goals and your wishes and your future. That's what the 11th house represents. So this is a big one. A dream from 2025 that you previously had and may shift, and you want it to shift. You want to go along with the shift. A community connection reveals truth. Like a lot of different perspective shifts from friends or family or from whatever society or club that you are in will help you shift. This is about releasing the version of yourself that you performed for others and step into a more authentic version of yourself for 2026. Now, the 12th house is the deep one. It's subconscious, it's endings, it's intuition. This is a deep subconscious reprogramming for you. This is your final purge of the year. You are clearing out everything you hid from yourself in 2025. Old patterns, old fears, old ways of thinking, old negative self-talk loops, old illusions. This full moon is ending an emotional cycle from 2025, and it's preparing you for a big spiritual rebirth in 2026. And that's it. This full moon is your last purge before 2026. Utilize this full moon to do your year 2025 in review and to release everything you no longer want coming with you into 2026. And if you made it this far into the video, the angel number for this Gemini full moon is 555. I can't think of a better angel number. Like the full moon, the Mutable Grand Cross, like everything is changing, okay? This is karmic. It's the south node, it's the north node. It's us literally shedding an old version of ourselves, old identities, old patterns, old mental loops. It's a complete mental purge before 2026. It's that change. 555 is change. A moment where you were asked to make a choice, to shift a perspective. It's a number of major shifts, of timeline changes, and this is a whole brand new year. It is a big timeline shift if you let it be. It's also the angel number of adaptability and transition, so it goes amazing with this chrysalis moment we're having. So comment 555, and I just want you guys to know I am so grateful for you. I love you so much. I'm always here to support you. I believe in you. You got this. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.